Hey guys, what is up? It's Taylor here. So as most of you probably don't know, that I have been a dancer for like 20 years, right? And I'm talking about dealing with body image as a dancer. So most of my life I have definitely dealt with body image issues, especially during I think my middle school and high school years of dancing. It was definitely like at its lowest point. I think definitely during high school was my lowest point of my body image issues. I, at the time, I think weighed probably around 145 pounds. And with my height and stuff like that, it just, like, I didn't necessarily look fat, but like, I thought I was really fat. I mean, I can insert some pictures and show you guys what I looked like. I mean, I look back and still think that I looked fat. Like, I'm just like, oh my gosh, like, how did I wear those clothes? And like, who let me wear those costumes? And yeah, so that's basically what I'm going to be talking about today, is basically how to deal with body image as a dancer and how I've learned to cope with it and adjust my way of thinking now in life so I can help other young dancers not feel this way the way I did. So like I said, I was probably about 145 pounds when I was back in high school. I didn't have the best self-esteem because one, I didn't think I was a very good dancer, and two, because I was definitely heavier than most of the girls that I did dance with. Most of the girls I danced with definitely had better body shapes than I did, and I was really jealous of that, and especially always being in a tight outfit, so like wearing a leotard in tights every single day of your life and looking in a mirror for 5+ hours a day, looking at yourself, not feeling confident in the way you look is definitely really puts a damper on your self-esteem and the way you look at yourself and your outlook on life and everything, which really contributes to a lot of girls' body image issues, especially in dancers. Because when you look at a dancer, like especially a prima ballerina dancer, you look at her and you're like, oh my gosh, she is the tiniest thing with the tiniest legs that are flawless and straight, and there's no lump or anything like that to her that like looks out of place or out of line, that kind of draws your focus to. And that's what I always thought of, like when I watched myself dance, or like if I watched other people, I looked at the way that their body shape was first before I even looked at anything else. And that is just so unhealthy, especially in like how old are you in high school? Like 14, 17? Like 14 to 17 years old? Like such an unhealthy mindset to look at. So yeah, like I said, like my self-esteem was definitely so low during that time of my life, and I wish that I knew how to like handle it and cope with it, because the people that I was surrounded by at that time definitely did not help the situation at all. Like my dance teachers and everything like that were not very like, I don't know what to say. Like, I don't want to bash them, because like they didn't really do anything wrong in saying that like, oh, you look fat. They didn't like say any of that. They didn't even like they didn't even like come close to saying anything like that, but it was just like they weren't very helpful, because they knew that some of us did not feel confident in the way we looked, especially when they picked certain costumes. So like it just didn't help that I was like, okay, well, you're picking these costumes for those people because they're skinnier than me, and I'm getting this costume because I'm not as skinny. And it's just like you just know, and it's like you can't help it like but feel that way and notice those type of things, even if it's so unintentional. And the way I felt about myself and the way I looked definitely contributed to me like starting my fitness journey and like changing the way I looked. I was so unhappy with the way I looked that I knew I wanted to make a change, a healthy, positive change in a very positive way, because I know as a dancer, like dancers tend to do things that are so unhealthy for them, because most dancers do end up having some type of eating disorder or like mental body image disorder, just anything like to do things to change their appearance. And with being like appearance being said, like, and also like having to look at yourself in a way that you don't like looking at yourself, because like my dance studio after a while ended up making us wear sock buns, right? And let me just tell you, sock buns are the worst. If you put your dancers in sock buns, you are ridiculous. Like, I don't know how you can stand to look at your dancers in sock buns, because they are so unflattering to most girls' face, especially with the damage they do to your hair and to your dancer's hair. Oh my gosh. You wouldn't know as a dance teacher, especially if you don't do it, because you don't have to worry about your hair being in a sock bun because you're the dance teacher, right? So sock buns, I personally think, are a big no-no. And so literally looking at myself in a sock bun all the time made me like despise the way I looked even more, because sock buns do not flatter the way my face is shaped and framed. Like my nose like is like so, I don't know, this is now me turning in me like critiquing my own facial features now, but like I know personally that buns and sock buns do not suit my facial structure, so I hate doing them and I hate looking at myself. So with that being said, and how I've learned to change and cope with having body image issues as a dancer is I've, one, made positive, helpful, healthy changes to my diet and my lifestyle, and two, with the hair, I've changed the way I do my buns, because now I go to a different dance studio. I danced in college and everything, and dancing in college is way different because they don't give a shit what you wear. They don't care how your hair looks as long as you're not like playing with it every 5 minutes during class. It depends on most schools actually. So most schools, I think if you take a ballet class like through them, you have to come basically, if you're a dance major, and ballet tights and a hair in a bun. I'm not really sure, I didn't go to that type of school, but in the school I went to, they didn't really care what your hair looked like or what clothes you were wearing. That definitely helped me in college. Like my body image issues totally like plummeted because like I was able to wear stuff that made me feel comfortable and made me feel confident in myself and my dancing. And so that really helped. Going back to me dancing at a studio, so I dance at a studio which is mainly a ballet studio, and I only take one class. I take ballet class every week, and we have to wear a hair in a bun and we have to wear a leotard and everything. But what I like about this studio is that like my hair doesn't have to be in a specific type of bun. It can just be in any type of bun, like pulled back off my face, as long as I'm not touching it and playing with it throughout class. She doesn't really care. And she likes us to wear black leotards, which is also great because black is mostly like flattering on everybody and it kind of like hides certain things, as well as she doesn't really care if we wear shirts or sweatshirts, especially since now it's cold outside. She doesn't really care, which is really nice because if I'm not feeling as confident that day, then if I'm wearing a black shirt or wearing a sweatshirt, I don't have to take it off. She's not going to ask us to take it off unless it's like affecting her teaching us, like showing us like proper lines in our arms and like proper posture in our back and stuff like that. She won't ask us to take it off, which is really nice and helpful because then I'm not going to feel like everyone's staring at me and like how I'm going to have to stare at myself in the mirror constantly and looking at myself and critiquing the way I look every 5 seconds during class. Okay, so at this point I'm kind of just rambling on about my own personal experience with body image issues, so let me actually get back into what I'm supposed to be talking about, which is how to deal with it as a dancer. Right, basically, you stare at yourself for 5+ hours a day, depending on where you dance and how long you dance for every day, blah, 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 blah. And the best way to help cope and deal with your body image issues, if you have any, not saying that you have some, but I'm just saying, is to, one, depending on like your studio rules and everything like that and dress code, definitely wear what makes you most comfortable and confident. So even if that means like putting on a full face of makeup just to go to dance class, literally do that, because I remember sometimes I used to not put on a full face but wear like my makeup the way it made me feel confident and good about myself, because I know if I looked like crap I was gonna dance like crap because I didn't feel my best. So if that means just putting on a full face of makeup to go to dance class, do it, because that is going to skyrocket your confidence and make you dance better and make you feel better about yourself, just all around in general. So two, with your hair, definitely change up the way you're doing your hair. I know, like I said, like my old studio used to make us wear sock buns, but if you are doing your hair a certain way in the sock bun or doing your hair a certain way in the bun or whatnot, just to change it up to make you feel a little more confident and to make you feel like you look better, definitely do that. Like now I know, since we have to wear like buns to my ballet class and stuff like that, I sometimes will put a braid in my hair, or I'll twist it, or I'll do like 2 braids and whatnot. Like I'll make it look nice in a way that kind of flatters my face a little bit more than rather just pulling it all back, like making it look like I have no hair on top of my head and whatnot, you know? So definitely like do what makes you happy, it makes you feel confident in yourself. And now basically with what you wear, again, like with your studio rules, it's probably different everywhere depending on what you're able to wear and what you're not able to wear. Like I said, wearing the shirt sometimes or a sweatshirt makes me feel comfortable, but another big one is checking your actual sizes. So there's a possibility you might be wearing a leotard that is too big, too small, or tights that are even too big or too small. So like if you're wearing something that isn't your size, that is also going to contribute to it being unflattering and then making yourself feel less confident than you already are. So getting properly sized is definitely something you should do, go and look into. I'm sure your local like dance store probably does that for you. I know one near me does that, they properly size you. Another one with your tights is make sure you're wearing your tights almost as high up as they can go. Literally, I pull mine sometimes all the way up to my ribs because then it's gonna like shape you better, because the tights are a little bit compressing sometimes, and it's gonna like blur out any extra lines and everything like that, so it will help smooth things over. And especially don't wear underwear, because underwear just creates the little dips into where it falls, so that's just creating another line to make it look like you have more lumps or something like that. Because I remember that used to happen to me, and I stopped wearing underwear to dance class because I actually learned that you're not supposed to wear underwear to dance class, and I was like, oh, I didn't know that. So there you go. The only time I actually ever wear underwear to dance class is if I'm on my period, because you know that's just hygiene. But yeah, also like changing and getting the right sizes, as well as testing out different leotards. So wear leotards that like look the best on you and more flattering. If you're wearing a leotard that literally shows every little bump and cranny there is, then do not buy it, do not get it, do not wear it, get rid of it, because then that's just not going to help the situation. That's not going to make you feel your best. It's not going to make you feel confident. So you want to wear something that, you know, it's gonna make you feel good and make you look all nice and curvy and shaped. All right, but that is basically everything that I have to talk about for body image as a dancer. If I come up with anything more to say, I will make a part 2 to this video, but otherwise that is it. All right guys, thank you so much for watching this video. Remember to follow me on all of my social medias, as well as subscribing to my channel and clicking that little notification bell, because it helps you out, helps me out, and it's free, so why not? And I will see you all next time. Bye.